Bulginaka, do you know that cybercrime is becoming a growing problem in Fiji?
Cybercrime is defined as a crime in which a computer is the object of the crime, such as hacking and spamming.
Cybercrime is also cyberbullying and using fake profiles to cause panic and spreading false news.
If you're involved in this or know anyone who's committing these crimes, report them immediately.
I'm Polly.
And I'm Peter.
We host the Traffic Jam Show on City FM.
From 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. every weekday.
Do the right thing.
And Winaka, Fiji. In this bulletin, Fiji now has 3 cases of COVID-19. University head breaks rules. And 62 yet to contact authorities.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Edwin Nunn.
The 1-year-old nephew of Fiji's first case of COVID-19 has been confirmed to have the virus, raising our toll to 3. Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama announced that the toddler was tested and diagnosed with the virus, adding that the 14-month-old toddler was not showing any symptoms until they were in isolation with other family members. Tandulala reports.
The Prime Minister says while today's case is heartbreaking, what is truly frightening is the scenario that could have unfolded if the situation had been handled differently and the first patient's entire household wasn't immediately put into isolation as soon as he tested positive.
Every grandparent, great-grandparent, uncle, auntie and neighbor who held this precious 14-month-old baby in their arms could have easily been infected, all with just a drop of spittle, burp, or cough. And while statistics show that babies will recover, for the more vulnerable in our society, this simple act of affection could be a death sentence.
He was well until Saturday when he developed a fever. So he was in isolation with the rest of the members of the family.
While being sympathetic towards the boy, Bainimarama says it was fortunate that the mortality rate around the world with young people is low, with the latest case showing that no one is immune.
The mortality rate among the young is especially low. Around the world, coronavirus has largely gone undetected in children and infants, as they display only mild symptoms. But as today's case shows, no age group or demographic is immune to contracting or spreading the virus.
Meanwhile, government is working with Fiji Airways to quickly identify every passenger and potential point of contact on 3 different flights, which were serviced by the flight attendant who became Fiji's first case of COVID-19.
Of the 359 passengers and crew, 277 have been contacted and have since either left the country or entered self-quarantine in Fiji. They will be tested if they begin to display symptoms.
The Prime Minister says good hygiene remains vital practice for all Fijians. Bainimarama is urging Fijians to wash their hands with soap and water for 20 seconds oftenly. Avoid touching your face, especially if your hands are dirty. He is also reiterating the need to maintain a safe distance of 2 meters from other people as much as possible. Tandulala, FBC News.
The Vice-Chancellor of the University of Fiji has violated the Lautoka confined area and caught a flight to Sydney, Australia. Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama says he was shocked to learn that the Vice-Chancellor managed to get through. He says it's unfortunate to see that a number of individuals have already sought to violate the border protection measures.
Also unfortunate to see that a number of individuals have already sought to violate our border protection measures. So far, 11 have been charged and produced in court today. In the last few hours, another 3 have been arrested. But I was particularly shocked to learn that the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Fiji illegally violated the Lautoka confined area and caught a flight to Sydney. Imagine the ordinary Fijians should have come in contact with her on her way to Nandi, through Nandi Airport, and on the plane itself. Her crimes put lives at risk and an affront to the hard work of our officers and staff, as well as the good measures we put in place to protect our people.
In the case of the Vice-Chancellor of University of Fiji, we have taken in the driver. We'll be going for the person who fixed up all the movement, and also the personal assistant who may be involved in working out how this movement was conducted.
Police Commissioner Brigadier General Siti Veningilio says they will be producing in court the man who was taken into custody for alleged fake posts about COVID-19 on Facebook. Bani Kawale was arrested over the weekend.
We'll also be producing in court a man that we had in our custody for posts that have been put up on Facebook. Now there's a shift that they know that we are taking people into custody and investigating people who are posting on social media platforms, that they are passing it on to those overseas. We've reported a particular Chese Tuitumbo that lives in the US to Facebook representatives who are working on the issue now.
20 people have come forward overnight after the Health Ministry published names and locations of individuals who were on the flight serviced by the flight attendant who is Fiji's first COVID-19 patient. However, 62 people are still to come forward despite repeated attempts to contact them by the authorities. Prime Minister Voreng Bainimarama says through contact tracing, their teams have identified all individuals who potentially came into contact with the patient during his servicing of 3 flights, FJ411 from Nandi to Auckland, FJ410 from Auckland to Nandi, and FJ871 from San Francisco to Nandi. Bainimarama says all of the 359 passengers and crew, 277, have been tested as of yesterday. Have been contacted and have either since left the country or entered into self-quarantine in Fiji. They will be tested if they begin to display symptoms.
We have their names and locations. Of the 359 passengers and crew, 277 have been contacted and have since either left the country or entered self-quarantine in Fiji. They will be tested if they begin to display symptoms. Meanwhile, 82 passengers have yet to come forward, despite repeated attempts to contact them. While some may have left the country, it is vital we get all of these people accounted for. At the moment, they pose an unacceptable risk, so we are enlisting your help to track them down.
Some supermarkets are facing odd situations where people are trying to return items they bought last week. The Fijian Competition and Consumer Commission Chief Executive Joel Abraham says this follows the panic buying in stores last Thursday and Friday following the announcement of the first confirmed case of COVID-19 in Fiji. Supermarkets have sought help from the FCCC in this regard.
Where customers are now coming back saying, can we return some of the items that we had purchased because we think we've bought too many.
Abraham says there is no nationwide shortage of food because of COVID-19, although in some cases the inventory of certain items at grocery stores might be temporarily low before stores can restock. No widespread disruptions have been reported in supermarket supply chains. The French embassy has been closed until further notice as a precautionary measure for COVID-19. French ambassador to Fiji, Francois Fiteau, says this is to ensure that all workers are safe. Fiteau says staff will be working from home until further notice.
Be obliged to be self-isolated, to live in confinement, to work with portable devices from our flats, houses.
Shop and Save Supermarket Director Nishil Deo Kisun has reassured all employees there will be no changes to staffing. COVID-19 has had an impact on the economy, resulting in job losses, reduced hours, or people getting pay cuts. Kisun has commended staff for their efforts.
None of our staffs have been laid off, nor does the company have any plans to lay off any staffs or have any major restructure in our organization in terms of staffing.
The supermarket chain has also assured that supply in their Lautoka outlets remain ample. Team Fiji firm on Olympics participation.
Oira na ngone no de nuni ena bisi ni mataka.
Mersi sunga da kena loma dina kena mikron.
Sakena ngau na mitaro bina no rabaksa ngai ka wala loma taki na ngone. Dalabina oya o meliki.
Bulre oya o Samuel Samuli.
Nama kikirau ena be mataka.
Boniti kena magrombuka.
Ni wai tiri kalima na miniti me ono kina tiri na kaloko. Ena Radio Fiji 1 na ndomo ibiti.
Indaw ina na mataka. dan ramai na singabo.
Welcome back. Roy Krishna is still contemplating his future after a successful year with 80K FC from Kolkata in the Hero India Super League.
Yes, I had a very great season with 80K, and the fans and the club has been really nice to me. But at the same time, so we're working on it, and we're going to make a decision very soon.
Fiji will support the International Olympic Committee's decision amid mounting pressure for the Games to be delayed. Fiji Association of Sports and National Olympic Committee of Fasanok Chef de Mission Patrick Bauer says along with other Oceania countries, Team Fiji will continue with preparations for the Olympics. Since the COVID-19 outbreak, countries like Canada have withdrawn from the Olympic Games solely based on the health of their athletes.
Out of all the countries, as I mentioned, majority have said they do want to go to the Olympic Games. He needed to hear it from us, so we had a TV conference the other night, and all of the Oceania countries said yes, we support what IOC is organizing and their move, and we will be behind them for our teams or our athletes to go to the the Olympic Games.
The Tokyo Olympics is still scheduled for June this year. Tennis Fiji has called off its 2020 Fiji Open Tennis Championship scheduled for the 26th of May in Ndenarau, Nandi. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic and the restrictions in place by the Fijian government to call off sporting events, the Federation has also suspended all its planned activities. President Richard Breen says it's unfortunate for their biggest event to be cancelled, but strict measures must be taken to prevent the spread of COVID-19.
The Fiji Open is one of the biggest events that Tennis Fiji hosts. We usually have about 200 competitors, of which 60 to 70% come from overseas. So we've already had confirmed entries from Australia and New Zealand, the major nations that partake in this competition. So it's disappointing for them and disappointing for us, and hopefully we're able to hold it at a later date.
All tennis activities are on hold until June, which is also an advisory from the International Tennis Federation. The Fiji Sports Council has closed all its facilities around Fiji. This is in accordance with the Ministry of Health COVID-19 advisory and as announced by Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama last week. All the FSC's remaining facilities are now closed for any sporting or recreational activity. These include the ANZ Stadium in Suva, the Vodafone Arena, the FMF Gymnasium, the Amodar City Aquatic Centre, the National Hockey Centre, Victoria Tennis Courts, National Fitness Centre, National Netball Centre, National Beach Courts, Multi-Purpose Courts, Backhurst and Bidesi Grounds, Lawanga Park, Thompson Park and the Rang Grounds. After 14 days, the Fiji Sports Council will review this position and advise from the authorities and then update the public. Thunderstorms are forecast to ease today. Expect cloudy conditions over the group. A flash flood remains in force for low-lying areas for the whole of Fiji. And that's your FBC Morning News. Join us at 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. for our major bulletin. Remember, in times of crisis, you need factual news that you can trust. Stop believing fake news about the COVID-19 on social media. Fight misinformation by getting only the facts about the coronavirus from verified news sources like FBC's TV, radio and digital media news. www.fbcnews.com.fj, keeping Fijians connected with the truth.
हमारे खूबसूरत देश फिजी में चाइल्ड अब्यूज की घटनाएं आए दिन बढ़ रही हैं।
क्यों बच्चों का मासूम बचपन अब्यूज का शिकार हो जाता है?
अपने बच्चों की सुरक्षा का खास ख्याल रखें।
उनसे बातचीत करें, उनके दोस्तों के बारे में जानें।
आज के बच्चे देश का भविष्य है। मैं दीप्ति
और मैं मोनिश,
आपके हमसफर। शामिल हो जाए हमारे साथ मंडे टू फ्राइडे
5:45 AM से 10 AM तक
रेडियो Fiji 2 देश की धड़कन पर।